I'm Eric Novak, and coming up on this next report, I'm going to take a look at the all-new 2018 Toyota Camry. All right, let's play a word association game, and I'm going to say Toyota Camry, and what comes to mind? Chances are you're probably going to say dependable, reliable, well-built, popular, and boring. Because let's be honest here, North America's best-selling car for so many years has been pretty much all the above, including a pretty bland but easygoing design. Now the problem with that is as customer preferences move towards crossovers and SUVs, the midsize car is disappearing in large volume to begin with, and if it's boring and bland, well, what do? Now, Toyota has a problem on their hands because the Camry, with all its bland or boring styling, is still popular. They want to hold on to their traditional base, but then they want to attract the new younger buyers who are drifting away from cars. So for the 8th generation Camry, they've tried to do a little bit of both. The new 2018 Toyota Camry is an all-new design with a lot of the things that have been missing from Camrys being put into the overall landscape and design process. Innovative design, fun, exciting, handling, these are all part of the new Camry. Now on this review, I'm going to take a look at perhaps the most nouveau or most dramatic change, and that is the XSE. It is their sport platform, and it's something that really has a lot of people's attention, and this is what we're going to take a look at on this next review. The new Camry is built using Toyota's new global design architecture, and whether you're driving an L or an S or a hybrid version, you're going to see some pretty distinctive differences compared to previous Camrys of old. With the S series, that we're probably seeing the most distinctive visually, especially from an exterior perspective. And now the Camry in general, as a design dimensions perspective, is lower and wider than it's been before, giving more of a taut athletic stance, such as we've seen with the new Accord as well, which just came out in similar sort of resizing dimensions. But overall, if you look at the exterior of this XSE, you see things you don't normally see in a Camry, like the two-tone paint color on the black and the white. Even you got a two-tone on the spoiler here. You've got a really sort of heft out, you've got a ribbed belt line that runs the front to back across the pillars. You've got this flared on the bottom and 19-inch wheels. You even have quad exhaust pipes on a Camry. Really, that's a first for sure. LED headlights and taillights are standard on all of the Camry line, but the premium headlights and taillights are something you'll find here on the XSE. And even here on the front, you've got a dramatically restyled hood and front grille. Now, it's not as dramatic and crazy as Lexus has with their spindle style, but it certainly is not the Camry that you're used to seeing. And yeah, it needs to be said, this is not your father's old Camry. Something else that's all new with the new Camrys is what's under the hood. They've actually come up with two all-new engine designs to power these new Camrys. With this XSE, what I've got under here is a 2.5-liter four-cylinder naturally aspirated engine, not turbocharged. It puts out 206 horsepower and 186 pound-feet of torque. They also have a V6. They still have a V6, unlike some of the competitors. It's a 3.5-liter V6 available. Puts out, the first time ever for a Camry, just over 300 horsepower. And there is also, of course, a hybrid, which is basically this 2.5-liter four-cylinder matted with the Toyota hybrid synergy drive system that they're so well known for. It's an interesting mix of powertrains, and I know some people still love and want that V6. My sense is, though, that this 2.5 is going to be the dominant powertrain, and they actually have a lot of hype and expectations for the hybrid. Right now, hybrid sales for Camrys are about 10 to 12%, but they believe that they could probably get up to 25% within the next 5 or 10 years, and I think that's possible because it's a pretty good hybrid system. But there are a variety of powertrain options that are all new with the new Camry. As for the overall instruments and design for the cockpit, straight in front of me there's an LCD information display that has a variety of helpful and useful information. On the V6 models, the premium models, there's actually a heads-up display available as well. Not on this particular unit though, but I think a lot of the big talk and the biggest change, of course, is with the center console and with this Entune 3.0 system that is proprietary to Toyota. Now, one of the big things, of course, is this is not compatible with either Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. So if you want to use that, you can't use it with Toyota. They have their own system. They say it's for privacy concerns. They say this is because of how they collect data versus how Apple and Google do. But it's a much different system. For everything basically is you download it to your smartphone, the Entune app suite, and if you want GPS, for example, there's another app you would download. It's Scout GPS, and it's a little bit of a concern for me because, again, you are connected. Everything here is connected through your phone, and it is a data-driven service. I know with GPS, for example, you can download maps, you can work offline if you're trying to do so, but for all the other services, you've got Slacker. For Americans, NPR One, nothing like that here in Canada. There's not a CBC radio. I think you can get it through Slacker though. Your Yelp, your fuel, sports information, traffic, weather. You can even get stock information because, I mean, yeah, when you're driving, you certainly need to know what a stock price is going up or down, I suppose. But this area here is, I'm a little bit unsure as to whether, again, if you're trying to move towards a new Camry buyer, I can see how this has appeal. The millennials would be used to this. If you're trying to hold on to your existing Camry base, I'm not sure how comfortable they are with this type of always mobility service, data-driven type of situation. If you have the V6 model on the XLE V6, you did get a premium system with embedded navigation, which actually you don't need updated SD cards. It automatically, it's the first time it automatically updates maps and routes periodically, so you don't have to worry about SD cards. For those for wireless thing though, I mean, they do have wireless charging. Heated front seats is good. You don't have heated rear seats though, and that's something, again, this side of the border that matters, and it's kind of distinctively noticeable because you can get heated rear seats on cars several $1,000s less than this as standard. So it's also noticeably missing, and as is a heated steering wheel. I can't find a heated steering wheel in the options list, and again, north of the border here where that kind of stuff is highly valued, at least having it available is something, again, that's conspicuous in its absence. Fuel economy wise, this 4-cylinder is going to get you basically 7.4 liters per 100 kilometers combined, which is 32 US miles per gallon. And again, if we're using the Accord as the comparison, because that's usually the two vehicles that are compared against each other the most, plus there's two new releases coming out at the same time, this is not as fuel efficient, and that's where the turbocharge generally has an advantage. Although, again, with turbocharging, of course, one of the knocks again is what you see posted is not always the real number. And as for my experience here, while it's 7.4, which is a bit less fuel efficient, I'm pretty much hitting those numbers bang on in my week. I'm a little bit higher than that, actually, to be honest, but I'm probably only just a 20-30 minute highway drive away from getting that back down to the same numbers overall. If you're going for a drive in this vehicle, if you're going to put some storage inside, I mean, the trunk has about a 15 cubic foot capacity for cargo, which would, keep, it's on average, it's pretty much par for the course for any mid-size sedan, good enough for your golf clubs or some suitcases or grocery bags. But it's a decent drive. I don't mind it. It's comfortable, and I mean, I guess that's the one thing. Where this XSE trim is different, I should add though, is in old Camrys, you had that sort of very spongy kind of, the handling and suspension was a little looser. It does feel a little sportier here. I will give it that, and that is going to appeal to a certain demographic that perhaps we weren't talking to before with previous Camrys. So overall, not too much to complain about drive-wise with this new Camry. You know, I've done hundreds of automotive reviews over the years, and in doing so, it usually doesn't take me long to figure out whether I like a car or not. But I gotta be honest with you, with this 2018 Camry, I've had it for almost a week, and I'm still kind of struggling. I'm still struggling to see as to whether these dramatic changes that they've made are really the right decisions. I totally get why Toyota has wanted to make these changes. I get how they have to respond to consumer preferences moving away from sedans. They want to attract a newer, maybe even say younger audience. This S design, the XSE for example, certainly has a lot of elements that are going to appeal to younger buyers, but are younger buyers going to be drawn back enough to sedans and away from the urban crossovers that they all seem to be wanting to buy nowadays? The interior is definitely polarizing. It's got some elements to it that I think are going to appeal to younger folks, but the traditional base, that demographic that's bought so many Camrys for so many generations, are they going to want to have Entune? Are they going to want to have their GPS, for example, attached to their smartphone? Are they going to want to do some of the technological things which our younger base likes, but the big bulk of Camry buyers in the past may not want? Either way, I suppose I have to tip my hat to Toyota for taking such a bold step. I mean, this car, there's a lot that I really, really like about it, and I think it's going to draw some positive attention. But in the end, the ultimate decision is going to be made by consumers, and I'm really excited to see how this Camry, especially this XSE, plus all the Camrys in general, are going to be received. But that's it for this review. For EnviroDad.com, I'm Eric Novak. Thanks for watching. There's plenty of ways for you to keep connected with me, so check out some of my social media links, suggested videos, and you know, I'd really love it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel.